Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to DonDoumClub. This is Alvin from DonDoumClub. I'm your host today. Today we're gonna talk about DonDoumClub's prediction for the Beyblade X environment in maybe the next season or the first season or even like in a long-term development, right? So currently there's already a few Beyblade that is out from Beyblade X series. We got Dransword, we got Hellscythe, we got Wizard Arrow, we got Dranzer from Plastic Gen, we got Night Shield, and then we got something like Night Lance and even like Shark Edge, which I have no access to for now. But there's pretty much not too many gimmick going on, except that there's something I have noticed playing Beyblade X, and I want to talk about how these problems or these features in Beyblade X would lead me to think of integration of old generation gimmicks. So let's talk about what I realized up till now. So obviously Beyblade X is a metal Beyblade generation. There's a lot of hard hit. There's extreme gear system, which is like really fast. But what made me realize first is that maybe not these three, because these three just dashes around, but these two, Wizard Arrow and Night Shield, they have stamina tip. And what happens to stamina tip? If you stay in the middle, extreme dash will basically just send you flying. But these tip, the needle and the, I think this one is called ball, I forgot already, they don't really just stay in the middle. They're in the middle circle, but they runs around. So there's a high chance like when it's zooming around, like when the attack type just like rush here, you just like go around in the bigger circle in the middle, so it misses. So I think the first thing is about the driver that will allow for dodging of extreme gear, although that will mean basically this Beyblade doesn't utilize extreme gear as much. It still is surviving in the stadium. We have done videos on them, and if you look at the battle, which we do up to 10 points, it's basically just getting 1 point each time. Unlike these Beyblades, they can get like up to 3 points each time by doing like middle pocket knockout. So what does that lead me to think of? Two things. First thing, rubber driver. If you have a rubber driver, not only if you dash faster, but you also have more knockout resistance. So even if you stay in the middle, that doesn't necessarily mean you get knockout, right? The second thing that it leads me to think of are drivers like this. Short driver, final survive, final drive, like all kinds of like activation driver in its own sense. So if you think of it, attack type Beyblade would be zooming around in the beginning. So in the beginning, if you also zoom around with them, at the end, you guys will just be burning stamina, right? And then after zooming around, you will turn into a stamina mode, which allows you to have more stamina, or vice versa. You can have stamina in the beginning, but not just like staying in the middle like these two. You'll just be like going around small circles in the middle. And then when the attack type Beyblade runs out of stamina, right? You turn into a attack type and just zoom and hit it. Then you win. You don't have to do necessarily a middle pocket knockout to win, right? So I think this gimmick is pretty much revealed at this point because of how Beyblade is played, I suppose. At least that is how I feel. I don't think this gimmick is completely impossible. To be honest, I actually think this is a big way to go. Although the size of the driver needs to be integrated with the gear sport system, I don't think it's not possible. They can literally like treat this thing as one piece or something. Next up, we did a short about height as the key in Beyblade X. So that leads me to think about height changing, like that of the Cancer from Metal Fusion Generation or Beat Links from Metal Fury. Height changing is a pretty, I guess, gimmicky feature. It's not really that useful until people find out some height are pretty like universal for attack type in tournaments. So a lot of people start using like 120, 170 to like do like Beyblade tournaments, but height changing could really be a thing. So behind the box of Beyblade X, right, you'll see the height it's like 80 right here, so that means 80, 60, 40, 20, and 100. So height can go as low as 20. And what happens when the height is too low? You can look at the shorts that we make, but basically it dodges all the attack, including putting the shape of the Beyblade into account. So height changing or short height can really be a big part of Beyblade X. Next up, we got the gear gimmick. This is the gear circle flat from the 0G generation. Basically what it means, this is a whole gear on the outside. I think there's also a chance that a larger gear system would be utilized and basically should achieve a stronger speed up if it's a bigger gear, because more gears are turned, right? More gears are turned during that charging phase, and it should ideally increase the speed by a lot. So I think having a bigger gear would also be a gimmick in Beyblade X, and that would obviously, introduce a different kind of bit, which is more money for them to make. I was also thinking about metal bit, but don't know how that would react to the stadium. I don't think Takara Tomy would care if the stadium wears fast, because that's just more money for them. But at the current point, I think there is such a big majority of gimmick you can think of, but these are what I have seen throughout actually playing Beyblade X and realize it's pretty close to what these parts from previous generation offer. Yeah, so do you guys agree? Do you guys think about it that way? Do you guys have any idea that think it's going to happen? Let me know in the description. So I'll see you guys next time. Like and subscribe. Peace.